Down marker.
Chris Morris and this big Eskimo offensive line continuing to move the ball. First down, Edmonton. At the 34 of the Argos. Green showing handoff. It's play action. Good fake going down the middle. Ed Hervey's wide open. Touchdown, Edmonton Eskimos. What a tremendous fake. Ed Hervey with his second touchdown catch of the season. A 34-yard pass and run. And they'll celebrate in the Argo end zone as celebrations become the order of the day in the CFL.
Well, you can see who's got rhythm and who doesn't. We saw it yesterday in Winnipeg. Everybody around the league now trying to be more creative than the other team after they score a touchdown, but just a breakdown totally in the coverage of the Toronto secondary, allowing him to come so wide open. Ed Hervey is nobody around 20 yards of him. It's just like a practice throw and catch.
Sean Fleming with the point after, and the Eskimos on their first two offensive drives of this football game have 10 points to show for it.
At Tim Hortons.
There's Ed Hervey, who left last week's game with Calgary with a rib injury.
Showing everybody today exactly what the Eskimos are about. Playing our game, we're not worried about nobody else. We're not worried about nobody else.
A positive statement about this Eskimo team, but he's showing no signs of wear here. Coming back with a tremendous 34-yard touchdown catch. And here's a look at the drive.
Well, let me tell you, a lot of things happen in this drive. I mean, we see short yardage, little running, play action, and of course, big time, wide open, runs a little corner out. The safety gets fooled by the other receiver, goes to the short side, and nobody goes to the wide side. Ed Hervey is wide open to haul in that pass and put Edmonton up 10-0.
A 9-play drive that covered 82 yards and ate up nearly 5 minutes of the clock. And that's it for one quarter of football. 10-0 Edmonton.
Well, this doesn't even look like the same team we saw in Montreal a couple weeks ago. They were very flat, offensively unimaginative. Take a look at the first quarter, Mark. You can see right now, obviously, the first down's 9-1 in favor of Edmonton right now. But look at this. I mean, if you got the clock, usually you're going to win the game. 11 minutes right there. I mean, to 3:53.
Two drives of 9 and 10 yards to eat up the clock. It's Tyrone Brown across his own 15-yard line, gets a block, tries to get outside of Mobley. Chris Hardy has him hemmed in, and out of bounds he goes. Good coverage on the kickoff, a 65-yard boot from Prefontaine, or rather Fleming, and a 17-yard return. The Argos go on offense. Headset talking to his spotters upstairs. He said yesterday that he is a big believer in the running game. Made this statement: the running game is not an idea, it's a commitment. Well, we'll see right now how committed the Argos are to the running game. They still have 3 quarters to go in the game. There's John Eason, the offensive coordinator, on the left, and Christopher Hadley, the defensive backfield coach, over to the right. Eason coming in, helping Kerwin Bell with his play selection. Tony Burst, the lead blocker. The Argos cannot afford to abandon the run game, being down 10 points. But right now they'll go to the air on first down. Play action is complete to Andre Kerwin with a head of speed, breaks a tackle, and still going. Finally knocked out of bounds. I think the Eskimos were looking run, and they got fooled in the play action.
Just a hard cross the middle right there, getting one-on-one coverage from Terry Ray, who picks him up. But one of the things that happens is Terry Ray now becomes in the back. He's in the back hip pocket. He gets the football. You see him slide right across the middle right there. Put it to him. They give it to Andre Kerwin. He catches the football. You see Terry Ray trying to chase him around, but not until a big gain by Andre Kerwin.
38 yards by the Stanford graduate who wants to be a doctor someday. Handoff up the middle. It's Michael Jenkins hitting that track hard. A gain of 8, maybe 9 yards on the play. Doug Peterson was saying yesterday that Jenkins is one of the few backs he's seen in the league who's not afraid to hit a crack, not waiting for the big hole.
Well, absolutely. But also, let's talk that offensive line. This is a unit that's finally playing together for a number of games. But as you say, he's hitting the hole. He's not looking for the hole, much like Mark Nora did in his first running play for the Edmonton Eskimos. Get going, son. Get north and south.
Total of 13 players have been on this Argo offensive line this year. It's been musical chairs, injuries, juggling, looking for the right man, and there's the cast.
Well, it's a huge cast. I mean, they're really happy. They were always looking to find the pieces of the puzzle, and I think they found it right now.
Handoff, Jenkins on a 2nd and 1 situation, and he's hit hard right at the line of scrimmage. Albert Reese, the big man on the end, made the tackle.
Well, they've got some big guys in there. I mean, Reese at 6'6", 285, Stalling 6'7", 270. These aren't no small people in there. And of course, you got Ben Williams, 93, 6'2", 300+ pounds.
He's short. The Argos are. It's 3rd down and 1. The ball at the Edmonton 35, and they will go for it. First in the backfield, motion left, handoff to Jenkins around the outside. He's got the first down and more. A big gain and some tremendous blocks on the outside. Tyrone Brown in there helping to set free Michael Jenkins on a 12-yard carry.
You know what? That's a gutsy call. Everybody in the house expects Michael Jenkins to take it inside the tackles. He takes it dangerously to the outside. But remember, Edmonton's defense is lining everybody inside the tackle box. Nice job of Michael Jenkins. Nice call playing by Kerwin Bell. Michael Jenkins, the last 4 games, obviously a big factor in the success of the Toronto offense.
Getting more carries because, of course, Ryan Terry injured. Here's play action now. Back to pass. Bell looking into the end zone. It's intercepted. Ralph Staten has the ball for the Eskimos, stopping a promising-looking drive for Toronto at the goal line. Kerwin Bell picked off by Staten, and the Eskimos take over as they celebrate deep. Mitchell, the intended receiver, but he doesn't get it this time. In Toronto, where Ralph Staten is getting some equipment adjustments on the Eskimo bench after making his 4th interception of the season to tie the lead in that department for the Eskimos.
With Chris Hardy, I mean, it's just a play action and freezes him momentarily. But Kerwin Bell will tell you himself, he's got to get more arc on that football. The ball is thrown too flat, and it allows Staten to come over and make a key interception.
Staten coming down in his end zone, so they'll start on their 25-yard line. Play action pass. It's a quarterback draw. Green calling his own number, but the Argos close quickly. It's Calvin Tiggle making the tackle for Toronto. The gain is a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, that's the thing. That's his 6th carry already today for Nealon Green. I mean, he's going to do this. We talked about Calvin the Terminator Tiggle having to be there and having to keep an eye on Nealon Green, responsible for him. And it is no easy task, folks, but Calvin Tiggle does a nice job of wrapping him up there after a 2-yard gain.
Tiggle leading the Argos with 65 tackles coming into this game. 2nd and 8 situation for Green in the shotgun formation. 6 receivers set now. Green with time, he'll roll right. Lots of room to run, and he'll take off. Green diving to the 35-yard line, and the first down marker very close to that first down.
And he just hits 2nd gear and flies to that marker, goes down, doesn't allow anybody on the Argonauts to get a good shot at him. Goes down much like a guy sliding into second base, albeit head first, but picks up what he has to do to keep the chains moving. No pressure. They wash that offensive line, washes the defense inside, and he just smells the first down marker and gets there and keeps this drive alive.
And it is indeed a first down, Edmonton, at their own 35-yard line. Nealon Green staying in the shotgun formation. He'll play action now and pass. It's complete to McCorvey, who fumbles the ball out of bounds. Houston says it's incomplete, but I think McCorvey had it, and they are marking it as a completion at the 41.
Well, one of the things that Martavius Houston gives you, Mark, is the ability to cover your best receiver out of the backfield. And a little bit of argument about the call going on right now. Just a little play action right there. Frees the defense, allows Nealon to get to the outside. Nice ball to McCorvey, and as you say, not only making the tackle, but absolutely, you see, Catfish, he's just trying to strip the football.
2nd down and 4. Green handing off up the middle. Mark Nora with a nice move, and he's got room. Nora across center field with a straight arm, and finally pushed out of bounds by Byron Capers. But he left his calling card with the Argo DB, and now Doug Peterson having words with Capers on the Eskimo bench as tempers begin to flare.
Well, tempers are always going to flare this time of year, Mark, and that's because every game, has the potential to defeat or add to your playoff promise. But nice job of the offensive line to open up a hole right there.
Look at the block by McCorvey here.
McCorvey, 85 in the bottom of your screen, just gets enough of Martavius Houston to allow Mark Nora to get to the outside, and he does the rest.
And look at Nora change hands with the ball to protect it on the outside. Here's Green pumping, looking down the middle. It's complete. Ricky Walters has the ball at the 40 for Edmonton with close coverage.
And all day to throw this football. You know what? If you're an offensive lineman, you're loving the game that Nealon Green is calling right now. Just by the fact that he's running the ball himself, handing it off to Nora, he's freezing that defensive line. They're not sure if they should take a chance and maybe gamble on something because they might get burnt.
2nd down and 5. Another long drive here for Edmonton now at the Argo 40-yard line, eating up the clock here as they did in the first quarter. Green passing, it's complete to McCorvey again, diving for another 1st down. Kez McCorvey, who was the 2nd leading receiver at Florida State, but last year was found on the scrap heap coaching high school football by Paul Jones.
Well, Paul Jones is an incredible story in himself. If we had an hour, we'd tell you about Paul Jones. He worked for Winnipeg. He beats the bushes and finds guys that are stars in the most unlikeliest of places. And as you say, finds McCorvey coaching football and says, hey, you feel like strapping him on again.
McCorvey, 3 years as a backup in Detroit in the NFL. Don Matthews says he can't believe he's not in the NFL right now, but happy to have him for Edmonton. Play action, no, he'll run. Green now looking for space, turning, he's surrounded, and then just dives back to the line of scrimmage with no place to go. And what looked like another quarterback draw.
Well, he's done this a number of times today, and you know what, remember, he's calling this play. You know what, when you look at Nealon Green, you look at his arm pad, he's got plays, but he's also got audibles. He's got checkoffs that you can look at. He's just going to take it. It's an open backfield right now. It looks like he's dropping. He actually pump fakes. But look at the hole there. I mean, he can take off there, decides to go to the outside, nothing there, and at the end does a little bit of a frog jump to pick up anything he possibly can.
And that was 0 as they get back to the line of scrimmage. But look at the time of possession. The Eskimos keeping the Argo defense on the field and the Argo offense off. Green back to pass, 2nd and 10, sidestep the rush, will throw, wide open McCorvey with a straight arm to Adrian Smith and another 1st down.
Another 1st down, but you tell me if Adrian Smith does not respect the speed of Kez McCorvey, because right there, he is so worried about him being beat deep that he's playing 6 yards off McCorvey. Yeah, Nealon Green's doing a little bit of scramble right now. He avoids the rush. But when he throws this ball to McCorvey, there's nobody around him. There you see Adrian Smith come up late to wrap him up, but again, not before. Edmonton has got another 1st down.
Push Smith back, running what looked like a post, came back for a 17-yard gain on the catch. Hervey now out with Smith. 1st down, handoff Mark Nora up the middle again, a big move, puts his head down and crashes across the 5-yard line, and the Eskimos threatening again.
Well, that big left side of Edmonton, Groenewegen, Princeton, and Beaton are just doing a nice job of opening up holes and allowing Mark Nora to do the rest. Give him a seam. This is a big man who used to run track at UBC. I mean, he can flat out fly.
Averaging 10 yards a carry, 8 on that one. And it'll be 2nd and 2, Edmonton on the Toronto 5-yard line. 3 times this season, Nora has been over 100 yards, his best in 70 against BC. 2nd and 2, Edmonton. Green, play action, gets outside, beats Young, now will throw wide open, Terry Vaughn, touchdown, Eskimos. Tremendous athletic ability by Nealon Green to beat the contain of Glenn Young and then find Vaughn wide open.
Well, you've seen 2 touchdown dances. The first one was a skipping rope. This one's photo shoot. They're doing a good job of trying to come up with new things, and I tell you what, the way that Nealon Green is orchestrating this offense, they could be in the end zone more times. He fools everybody with that play action. Everybody goes with Nora. Nobody goes. They lose contain. The one thing you cannot do is allow yourself to let Nealon Green get to the outside, and he does, and he makes him pay for it.
Sean Fleming with the convert. And with 5:51 to go until the half, it's Edmonton 17, the Argos nothing, as Nealon Green hooks up with Terry Vaughn.
Bench right there, Terry Vaughn with his 5th touchdown. All you're going to do is get a little play action pass. You're going to fake it and come to the outside. As we roll it, everybody on Toronto's defense is full. He just keeps it, makes a move right there on Glenn Young, and then it's just pitch and toss.
Look how the defensive backs broke off their coverage because they thought he was going to run, Chris.
That is what the danger of Nealon Green's legs running the ball will give you.
Green with 16 touchdown passes on the season, 2 here today. Tyrone Brown returning the kick. It's a throwback to Daryl Mitchell. Mitchell trying to get outside across the 20 and going. He's got a block and finally hauled down. Senior Mobley makes the tackle, but there's a flag on the play, a 67-yard kickoff by Sean Fleming, and a 30-yard return on that long lateral to Daryl Mitchell.
Mark, we used this play a long time ago in Ottawa and won a football game on it. Toronto goes into the old trick book and does a little pass lateral, throws it across the other side of the field to Daryl Mitchell, but you got to give credit.
Block. Toronto number 22, first down.
You got to give it credit. Special teams, coached by Hugh Campbell's kid, does a nice job of telling the guys, stay in your lanes, and they do a fine job of that and don't allow themselves to get burned.
Welcome back to Skydome. The Edmonton Eskimos leading this one in the second quarter, 17-0. Next Toronto and Argonaut home game will be October the 27th. They take on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. That could be a very big game. 7:30 Eastern time. For tickets, call 416-872-5000.
Well, Peter, if the Argos should come back and win here today, that would be for third place. They would be 1 point behind the third place Blue Bombers. First down, Argos. Bell backpedaling across the middle, in and out of the hands of Daryl Mitchell. It was right on the money, and Chris Hardy makes the tackle. But Kerwin Bell now 3 of 7 for 50 yards and 1 interception. The man who Mike Pinball Clemens calls the best pure passer in the game is having trouble early.
Well, I mean, you can't really fault Kerwin Bell in that play. I mean, the ball, as you say, right on the money. And Mr. Dependable, you don't see Daryl Mitchell drop many. Comes across on his patented over the middle route. Ball right in his hands, just can't squeeze the football.
Right. 2nd and 10. Argos on their own 12. A tough situation here. Shotgun, they'll pass. Bell looking across the middle again. It's overthrown and nearly intercepted by Hardy. Diving at the 35, but there was not an Argo receiver in the neighborhood.
Well, I mean, it's a frustration thing for Kerwin Bell. He throws the ball on a rope the first play. Daryl Mitchell drops the ball. This time, as you say, sits back. Edmonton's defensive line running a little bit of a twist. Grant Carter coming in there. Ben Williams putting a little pressure on Kerwin Bell. He floats the football up over coverage, and as a result, Noel Prefontaine has got a punt from his end zone.
So Bell's first pass since the interception on the goal line, perhaps a little tentative, and it's a punting situation. The pinball. The lone man back for Edmonton, awaiting this punt from Noel Prefontaine, standing 5 yards deep in his own end zone. Leading punter in the CFL, an average of 48.1 yards a kick. Ball's away, a driving spy roll, and the Gizmo has it at his own 47. The Gizmo gets a break, breaks another tackle. He might be gone! One man back, it's the kicker, Prefontaine. Gizmo going wide right, tries to break the tackle, and Prefontaine brings him down at the 5-yard line. Gizmo Williams, who leads the CFL with 26 punt return touchdowns, is 5 yards short of his 27th on a 58-yard return.
Well, that's why you want this guy back there, because every time he touches the football, he has the potential to take it all the way. Does a nice job. Look at the cut. Comes back. I mean, he's not taller than a fire hydrant, but he gets going, and he's got great legs. We don't know his age. We're going to have to do some carbon dating on him, but great job of getting in the open and fighting. You can see he's trying to fight to get to that end zone, Mark.
As they say, someday an archaeologist will have to dig up Williams a million years from now, do the carbon dating to really find out how old he is. He seems to be wishing at the fountain of youth every year. A huge return, and it's 1st and goal Edmonton at the 5 of Toronto. Green in the shotgun, handing off to Nora up the middle, and little or no gain on the play, as he's stopped immediately by an impermeable Argo defensive line at the goal line.
Well, nice job of handing it off there, allowing the big boys to go. And
McGinn's got on the roster only because Troy Mills had to leave to go home to see his ailing father.
You know what he said yesterday that I thought was really interesting, Mark? He said, we got guys that are getting healthy right now, and the competition to make this football, it's like being in training camp, he said.
Is turning back the hands of time there with a beauty to the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal, Edmonton. Green to pass, time throwing to the corner. It's up, and it's complete. Kes McCorvey has another Edmonton touchdown. And Green has 3 touchdown passes in the first half alone. McCorvey running the out pattern on Martavius Houston and makes a beautiful catch.
Well, we talked about this yesterday, you know, in the pregame. The fact that these guys are saying that one-on-one, nobody can cover Kes McCorvey. And I mean, he's going against a pretty good guy in coverage in Martavius Houston, but he just turns him, gets to that corner of the end zone, makes a nice catch. And as you say, I mean, Edmonton is firing on all cylinders right now.
Yes, McCorvey with his 13th touchdown reception of the season. The point after from Sean Fleming is good, and this one is getting away from the Argos as McCorvey drives